Hey Upwork, my name's Mandy and I'm so excited to be here. I wanted to take a minute to introduce myself. I am the founder of a boutique. This is going really well. Clearly, I'm in my laundry room trying to record this while the kids are also trying to be put to bed. So let's hurry this up, shall we? Okay, so I'm the founder of Rose Gold Careers. It is a boutique career coaching firm, and I specialize in helping people with the sort of marketing materials that you need when you're applying for a job. So your resume, your LinkedIn, if you have an interview coming up, any kind of career coaching strategy you might need, negotiating your package when the time finally comes. And I have worked mostly with senior executives, which I define as director level and up. And many times my clients either have an MBA or a JD or some kind of graduate degree, and so they're really looking for their next step. They value their career. They're really focused on how they've invested in their career, right? And so now they're at a point where they want to continue on the path and not lose any momentum. I'm very familiar with this because I personally have my MBA from Columbia Business School, and I also went to Brown for undergrad. I have worked with hundreds of clients, and people ask me like, oh, do you have experience in working with finance people? Do you have experience working with, fashion tech people? The answer is yes. So whether you're coming from the large multinational Fortune 100 type matrixed organizations, or whether you are looking to transition to join a high growth startup in Silicon Valley, chances are I've worked with, some kind of, I have that level of industry expertise. Simply because of the sort of base of my clientele. They tend to have really diverse, interesting experiences, from military to music to banking to, you name it. So I invite you to go to my website. It is rosegoldcareers.com. You can check it out. There's a lot of like fancy still life photos of me being like, hello. And so why am I on Upwork? I signed up for Upwork because I wanted a way to meet new clients. Most of my business is word of mouth, so it's people who've worked with me who then refer their sister or their husband or their other friend from B school, And I love that. Like, I have a high referral rate, and like that's amazing. But I joined Upwork to expand my network. I wanted to meet more people. I've sort of done like 15 MBAs in a row, and I'm kind of like, what else is out there? Like, who else can I help? The good news is that, one statistic I can share is that within 3 months of working with me, about 90% of my clients go on and have an offer in hand. Oftentimes it's multiple offers, and then I'm advising them on how to negotiate and use those two offers sort of against each other. So, that's a great place to be. That's like my favorite place to be. And the thing I'll leave you with is that, as you review different people, which obviously you should, but my point of view is that, a resume is a piece of paper. It's like all it is, right? It's one piece of paper, sometimes two. It should be one. We can talk about that later. But anyone can make it look pretty and anyone can format it. That's not the hard part, right? Like, if you just have an issue with formatting, like, you should hire someone to just do the formatting for you, But what I provide is really understanding you and your intention and developing a customized strategy so that the sort of message between the lines and the intent in the resume is felt by the person who's reading it. And that's something that needs to be kind of coaxed out. It's a massaging process, and what my role is I help you to identify that and then realize that, right? So I ask you things like, okay, so when you were working on that project, and what is the piece of advice that you would give a person who was taking it over, to sort of understand, like, well, what exactly was your contribution to this project, and then how did that role shape you, and what did it mean to you? And from these kinds of conversations, that's where you get like the real juice, right? Like, I don't just sit in a room by myself and like write someone's resume. Like, most of the work, I'd say like 80% of the work is actually through conversation and through collaboration of like, I'm going to send you these questions, you're going to answer these questions, we're going to have a conversation, we're going to get on Google Hangout, we're going to like talk it out. And that's why I think I've had a lot of success with this stuff, is because I listen to you and I ask you questions so that I understand you, and then and only then do I go and create the documents, you know? But, you know, I believe marketing first and foremost is just about understanding. So I invite you to invite me, does that make sense? To apply to a project, and I hope to hear from you soon. All right, peace out.